لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين المصطفى أبي القاسم محمد، وعلى آل الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد، فقد قال سيدنا ومولانا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب صلوات الله وسلامه عليه: لتعطفن الدنيا علينا بعد شموسها كعطف الضروس على ولدها. ثم تلا: ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونجعلهم أئمة ونجعلهم الوارثين. صدق مولانا أمير المؤمنين صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. This evening we're celebrating the wiladah of the Savior of humanity, the last nur of the nur of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, Al-Imam Al-Mahdi Al-Muntazar, صاحب العصر والزمان صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آبائه الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى. He was born on the 15th day of Sha'aban, which will coincide this year with tomorrow, a very holy, blessed day, inshallah. In the year 255 after Hijrah, lived for 5 years with his father, Al-Imam Al-Hasan Al-Askari, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh, and his mother is As-Sayyidah Narjis, salamullahi alayha. And he is one of the very few Imams who were born outside the city of Medina. The city of Samarra was blessed with the nur of this Imam, salamullahi alayh. And many Imams have spoken about him. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa has spoken about him. The Quran has mentioned him. References, of course, about him. And in one of those ahadith is this one that I just recited from Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullahi alayhi, found in Nahjul Balagha, where he says, Dunya will turn to us. لَتَعْطِفَنَّ الدُّنْيَا عَلَيْنَا. Dunya, and of course by dunya he's referring to people, not the dunya itself. People will turn towards us. And he gives a metaphor, بعد شماسها كعطف الضروس على ولدها. After it gave us a very hard time. Inshallah, in the course of the discussion we'll talk a little bit about the difficulties Ahlul Bayt had to go through when we talk about one of the reasons of the occultation, the why. Inshallah. So he said, dunya will turn back to us after the rough time it has given us. It will come back and embrace us intimately. And he read this ayah, وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَنَجْعَلَهُمْ أَئِمَّةً وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْوَارِثِينَ. Ayah number 5 of Surah Al-Qasas. And we want to bestow our favors upon those who have been weakened in the land and the earth. They've made weak because of the lack of support, because of the lack of help, because of betrayal, because of jealousy, etc. They've made weak. And we will make them a'imma, leaders, the imams. And we will make them the inheritors. And this is the same ayah our 12th Imam, Salamullahi alayh, recited the second he was born. His aunt, Hakima, the aunt of Al-Imam Al-Askari, daughter of Imam Al-Jawad, As-Sayyida Hakima, who's buried in Samarra next to Imam Al-Hadi and Imam Al-Askari and Narjis. If Allah gives us the tawfiq, inshallah, to go for their ziyarah, you'll see these 4 tabuts or coffins resembling these 4 graves. Al-Hadi alayhi salam, Al-Askari alayhi salam, Narjis, wa Sayyida Hakima, salamullahi alayhim. This lady witnessed the birth of the Imam. She helped Sayyida Narjis deliver Al-Imam. She said when he was born, some nur, some light illuminated the world that I couldn't see much anymore from this nur. And then when the nur faded a little bit, the light faded, I saw this baby wrapped up in a cloth, doing sujood with his head up to the skies and his hands on the earth. And he read this ayah, وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَنَجْعَلَهُمْ أَئِمَّةً وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْوَارِثِينَ. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Although it's a time of joy and happiness, but the current situation around the city of the birth of the Imam Salamullahi alayhi brings a lot of grief to the heart, where the enemies of Allah are trying to demolish the shrine again. The birthplace of our Imam is now under attack. Hundreds of thousands of mu'mineen have been displaced. Many have been killed. So when we look at the situation, it is really tough to enjoy and celebrate. And hence, I would like to request the mu'mineen, please, tonight in your dua on this holy night, remember to pray to Allah to hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Salamullahi alayhi. Pray to Allah to protect the holy shrines, the place of his birth. Pray to Allah to save those mu'mineen, the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, all over the world. It's very painful to see what's going on. But we'll try to do whatever we can to learn from him, inshallah, over the next few minutes or so. We'll take a look at the where. Where is Imam Al-Mahdi salamullahi alayh? That's one question. Question 2. Why did he go into ghaibah and occultation? And question 3. What does the Imam salamullahi alayh expect from his Shia? Okay. Very briefly, we'll touch upon those 3 questions, inshallah. Question 1. Where is the Imam? Is the Imam Salamullah alayhi living in some remote island where any airplane that would come to fly over that island, it would fall down? Any ship that would sail to this island would disappear? Anyone would try to approach it would not be allowed? Or is the Imam Salamullah alayhi living in some cave, protected somewhere, away from the people? And the answer is no. Apparently, from the riwayat that we have, the Imam Salamullahi alayhi is living amongst us. He is living amongst the people, with the people. He sees the people. In fact, some of them see him as well. They interact with him. He interacts with them, but they do not recognize him. They don't recognize him. Has it ever happened to you sometime? I mean, especially before the age of internet, you know, when you could see everything now and everything is at a clip. Has it ever happened to you where you meet someone, a very important person, a very good alim, for example, a very well-famous alim, but you've never seen him. And hence, when you first saw him, you did not recognize him. Did not know who he was. So you just treated him simply, like you treat any other ordinary individual. And later you came to realize, oh, he's so-and-so. Like, oh, really, you're so-and-so? Has this ever happened to you? It happened almost to every one of us, such a scenario, with some individual. You don't recognize who he is. You see him. You speak to him. He has, of course, this aura about him, like the rest of the ma'soomeen alayhimus salam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected him in the way that people who see him, most of them, we have some exceptions where some of the ulama or some people would meet him and recognize him. Okay? We have some exceptions. But generally speaking, he's living with the people, amongst them. He's not in a remote island in the middle of nowhere. He's not in a cave in the middle of nowhere. Rather, he is with the people, sees the people, interacts with them. He corresponds with the ulama on several occasions, either through letters or through some messengers that he would go with them. So he is in touch with the events and what's going on in the world. So the Imam salamullahi alayhi is living amongst us. And according to some ahadith from Ahlul Bayti alayhimus salam, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُلِ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And do your actions. Whatever action you do, Allah is seeing it. His messenger is seeing it. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The believers are also seeing it. Is it all the believers? And the answer is no. Today, how many of us, we're doing something? Do I know what you did? Do you know what I did? Most mu'mineen don't know. So who are the mu'mineen? They are the leaders of the mu'mineen. They are Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. In one hadith by Imam Al-Rida alayhi salam, that the actions of our Shia are presented to us every morning and every night. Every morning and every night. In another hadith, every Thursday night, the Imam is presented with our actions. Every Thursday, like this night. Whatever ye have done throughout the week, he will see it. He will review it. When he sees us doing something that brings joy to his heart, he will raise his hand and pray for us. When he sees us, unfortunately, doing something that does not please him, he would raise his hand and do istighfar for us. He would ask Allah to forgive us. So our Imam is praying for us. He's living amongst us. But my dear brothers and my dear sisters, there is something important to realize. Would any son who loves his father, any son who respects his father, love his father, would he be willing to embarrass his father? If you love your father, you really love him, you really care about him, wouldn't you want to be the best son for him? Wouldn't you want to always impress him? Wouldn't you want others to be impressed about him through your own actions? Wouldn't you feel happy when someone goes to your father and says, MashaAllah, well done on raising a very good son? Wouldn't that make you happy? Then why is it that we do not have the same attitude with our Imam salamullahi alayhi? Why is it that we don't treat him as such? Why is it that we do some things that displease the Imam? Would hurt him sometimes. Why? How come? He's watching everything we do, everything we say. In fact, he knows our intentions by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has given him that ability. So the Imam, salamullahi alayhi, my dear brothers and dear sisters, is living amongst us. That's one. He knows exactly what's going on. And he copes with the affairs. and he's praying for the Shia. In one of the letters he wrote to Sheikh Al-Mufid, he says, tell our Shia that we are praying for them. And if it weren't for our care and prayers, then the enemies would have taken them out from the roots. Today, you look around the world, today. I'm not asking you 1400 years ago, 1200 years, today. Look around. Do you see a community being persecuted as much as the Shia? Honestly, go take the news today. Everywhere. Is there a community today in persecution? And it's not just this period of time. 1400 years, almost. The Shia are in persecution. From the day they exiled Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, Ridwanullah ta'ala alayh. From the day they killed Hijr ibn Adi and Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr and Malik al-Ashtar. From the day they killed Al-Imam Al-Hussein salamullah alayhi and his companions. From the day they imprisoned, and so on and so forth. Until today, do you find a community in history, in the world, persecuted as much as the Shia? Truly, if it weren't for the du'as of the Imam, we would have gone extinct a long time ago with all this persecution, with all this attack. But subhanallah, you find the number of the followers of Ahlul Bayt worldwide is on the rise. Because people are reading. They read the truth. And they understand the truth. Subhanallah. And look at the several books written by people who become Shia. And many of them are ulama, or educated people. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are journalists. Some are academics. And so on and so forth. The dua of the Imam is protecting us. That's one. Question 2. Why did the Imam salamullahi alayhi go into occultation and ghaibah? To my mind, there comes about maybe 6 or 7 reasons. For the sake of time, I will only discuss one thoroughly and one very briefly. So 2 of them I'll touch upon. One reason why the Imam salamullahi alayhi went into ghaibah is a test. A test. In every community, in every society, you always have people with some agenda. And they are from within that community. But they have an agenda. They have an interest. Those people cannot bring their heads up, cannot act for as long as the Prophet or the Imam is present in person. Because the existence of the Prophet or the Imam, the Haqq, nullifies them. So what do they try to do? They try to keep their agenda hidden. And they come and associate themselves with that Prophet or with that Imam. They'll say, we are amongst your followers. We are amongst your believers. We are amongst your Shia. But they have a plan to deviate people. A plan to confuse people. Because one very good way to deviate is to use religion. And one very good way to deviate is to associate yourself with the leaders, those who are pious, and say, look at me. I am with them. I'm close to them. But they have an interest, or they develop an interest. As-Samiri was with Musa alayhi salam. Correct? As-Samiri and Musa alayhi salam. When did As-Samiri come up with the idea of creating that calf or that cow? When did he come up with it? When Musa was there? What did Samiri do? Wait until what? The ghaibah of Musa alayhi salam. Musa, as long as he was present, Samiri did not dare to speak. Samiri was close to him. In some reports, debated by the scholars nonetheless, however, some say when the ayah says, فَقَبَضْتُ قَبْضَةً مِّنْ أَثَرِ الرَّسُولِ, that summary, I took one of the dirt of the horseshoe of the messenger. Some scholars say Samiri saw Jibreel alayhi salam riding on a horse from Jannah on the day when the sea parted. You know when the sea parted? Jibreel was there with the mu'mineen, helping them, guiding them. Samiri saw that Jibreel is riding on the horse. Every time the horseshoe of Jibreel, Jibraeel's horse, alayhi salam, would touch the ground, he saw that it turns green. He realized this area is a blessed area. The area where the horse of Jibreel alayhi salam touches. Now, if that area is a blessed area, what about an area that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa put his hand on? What about an area that Amir al-Mu'mineen put his hand on? What about an area that Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam have put hand on? Aren't they the best of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Aren't they better than the malaika? And yes, they are. Rasulullah is the best of Allah's creation by far. All Muslims agree on this. So then obviously any place they touched, any place they are, is a place of blessings. Samiri saw this. What did he do? He went and took some of that sand that was touched by the horseshoe of the horse of who? Jibreel alayhi salam. He took some of the sand and put it onto the calf as he was building it. So some of the ulama said the barakah of the sand made this calf make some noise. Khuwar. The khuwar. Okay. There is this explanation out there. But was Samiri? He came as a mu'min, and this is the true danger when someone comes to you as a mu'min in the clothes of Iman. I am coming to teach you Quran. I am coming to teach you religion. That is the best way to have things make your way. Bani Israel were not fooled by Fir'aun. Why? Why do you think Fir'aun did not fool them? How come? Because it's visible. It's very clear. Fir'aun says, أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. I am your grand Lord. Right? Very clear. He's visible. The fear is from the what? The invisible. The hidden. The one who comes to you in the name of religion. That is what destroys the religion. That's what destroys it. Such people. Because of their agenda, because of the love of authority. And sometimes when we think about authority, we think, becoming the president, the prime minister, a king. No, sometimes authority doesn't even go that far. Some people would like the authority of being, for example, a chair of a committee, for example. Because of being a chair of a committee, to him that authority is pretty good. And he'll do some things like this, sometimes. A teacher in school, for example, because he has students under him, that's authority. Sometimes very simple things. But people love that authority. That authority destroyed communities, societies. This hypocrisy, this deviation from the people who read the Quran, were close to the Imam. They destroy. The Battle of Jamal, one of its instigators was who? Az-Zubair ibn al-Awwam. Who is Zubair? The cousin of Ali ibn Abi Talib, first cousin from his mother Safiya. What did that battle do? Destroy the Muslims, tear them apart. That battle led to the Battle of Siffin, which led to the Battle of Nahrawan. You see, it came from a person very close to Ahlul Bayt. In fact, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says in Nahj al-Balagha, لا زال الزبير منا أهل البيت حتى ولد ولده المشؤوم عبد الله. Zubair was of us, Ahlul Bayt, of us, until his wicked son Abdullah was born. Subhanallah. Zubair did not come in a different form. No, he came in the name of Islam, in the name of justice. But what did that do? That shattered Islam. When you have people coming in the name of religion. But when did Zubair come up? Did he come up during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa? No. They had to wait for Rasulullah to go. Rasulullah had to go. Those people, when they came after Rasulullah, they had to wait for Rasulullah to go. And then they come. Samiri had to wait to Musa to go, and then he would come. Our Imam, salamullahi alayhim, lived and experienced such difficulties. People who are hypocrites. People who are deviant. But they use the name of religion to achieve their goals. Imam Al-Hasan, salamullahi alayh, what made him make that peace treaty with Muawiyah? One of the closest people to him, a man by the name of Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas. Who is Abbas? Who is al-Abbas here? Who is he? He's the uncle of who? Amir al-Mu'mineen, right? Al-Abbas ibn Abd al-Muttalib. The brother of Abu Talib. The uncle of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salamullah alayh. His son, Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas, which means he's the first cousin with who? Imam Ali alayhi salam. Second cousin with who? Imam al-Hasan. Ubaydullah, Imam Ali put him as a governor of Yemen. Muawiyah sends a man by the name of Bisr ibn Urtat to go to Yemen, conquer it, kill the people, including two sons of Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas. Two of his sons were killed by Bisr ibn Urtat, who was sent by Muawiyah. Ubaydullah runs away, leaves Yemen. Time goes by. Imam al-Hasan, salamullahi alayh, sends Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas with a man called Qais ibn Sa'ad, both of them, to lead an army to fight against Muawiyah during the Khilafah of Imam al-Hasan, salamullahi alayh. Okay? Who killed the two sons of Ubaydullah ibn Abbas? Who was responsible? Muawiyah, right? What happens? This same man whose sons were killed by Muawiyah, who is second cousin with Imam al-Hasan, who was a mu'min, Muawiyah sends him 1 million dirham, million. He tells him, I'll pay you the half first, and then the second half when you join me. Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas at night leaves the army and deserts it and go to Muawiyah's camp. The man who killed or responsible for the killing of his own sons. When you have people who say, I am Shia, I am your Shia, I am loyal, I am a good person, I know Quran, I pray, Salat. Don't be fooled by that Salat. Don't be fooled by that claim. Let us dig deeper a little bit. A love of authority could blind people to the point which makes a man shake hand with the person responsible for the killing of his own sons because of money or authority. The ghaiba distinguishes this. The ghaiba of Prophet Musa revealed the true nature of Samiri. The ghaiba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and by ghaiba I mean his departure from this world to the other world, revealed the nature of some people. Our Imams lived with such people. And such people exist in every community, in every society until this day and age. They're there. They come to you in the name of religion, in the name of Islam. Ghaiba is a test to see who is a believer and who's not. They come up. That brings their true nature on the inside. The ghaibah brings this. It shows it. How many people through this ghaibah claim to be Al-Mahdi Al-Muntadhar Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Al-Sharif? Until today, you think today we're in the 21st century, people, are all aware. Until today, you have people claiming that I am the Imam, follow me. And you have people following them. So where is your aql? Subhanallah. That's really the disaster. This is what tears communities apart, societies apart. People who come in the name of religion. And that is why another reason for the ghaibah of the Imam is itmamul adad, the waiting for the completion of the number. And what is that magic number? 313. Those 313s are among what they call Ashabul Imam, Ashab, the companions. Those are the sincere people. Those are the leaders of the army of the Imam, the governors of the Imam, the people whom the Imam will use to govern with. Those are the sincere people, genuine people, who whatever the Imam says do, they say yes, with no questions asked. No questions asked. People like those who died with Imam Al-Hussein salamullahi alayh did not ask questions. Their Imam says go fight, he said yes master, we'll go fight. We'll get killed, no problem. Khalas, as long as you tell us what to do, we'll do it. People who would not be bought with money, would not be corrupted. Today, one of the countries where the enemies of Allah are attacking the mu'mineen, the holy shrines, the prime minister of that country calls the parliament. People in the parliament do not show up to form a quorum because they have a problem with that individual, with the prime minister. They put their own interest over the interest of thousands of people who are being killed. They have a problem with him. Yes, okay, you have a problem with him. Fine. But put your problems aside. You have thousands of people getting killed. Shrines being destroyed or almost being destroyed. But you have people's egos, subhanallah, subhanallah. They're willing to have people die just so that they would say that, you know what? You're a failure, and so if we come to power, we can show you that we are better people. Some people try to create obstacles in the face of others, not to collaborate, cooperate. Why? So that he fails, so I could prove that I am better than you. They instigate to create this. When we see this, then there is no surprise why we haven't seen 313 such people. Genuine, sincere people. No surprise. Because some people wonder, out of all those millions of Shia we have, there's no 313? No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Where do you find such people who would not put their egos at the forefront? Such people who would not put their own interests at the forefront. Where do we find such people? You know, I said in one of my lectures in the past, and I will come to this inshallah, how do we know our actions are fi sabilillah? And that takes me to the next point. What does the Imam want of us during his ghaibah? So we said one of the reasons for the occultation of the Imam is what? Test. Because ghaibah reveals the true nature of some people. Will show those people who are genuine versus those who are not. Those who want to deviate and abuse the name of religion, they will come up. In the absence of the true religious leader, in the absence of a true religious man, a true Imam, they will come to power. They will rise to power. And another reason is the Imam waiting for the 313. He's still waiting for the number. 330. Without those people, the Imam cannot govern. Cannot govern. Otherwise, you'll have corrupted people like Imam Al-Hassan was faced with. People who would come, yes, we love you, Ya Imam, we'll work with you. But the minute they see $1 million, مع السلامة, خلاص. Like Ubaidullah did. The minute they see their own interest, خلاص, مع السلامة. It's my interest. What does the Imam expect of us, my dear brothers and my dear sisters? I'll tell you one thing. Imam wants ikhlas, sincerity. Sincerity. We all say we work qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. Do we really? Do we really work qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala? In one of my previous lectures, I mentioned if you want to know you're working qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala truly, then ask yourself the following questions. 1. If no one finds out about this action that I'm doing, nobody, would I still do it? If I will not receive any recognition, I put an effort into this community, I spend thousands of hours into this community, but no one finds out. No one. No one ever comes and recognizes me. No one ever says we thank so and so for his contribution. No one. If no one recognizes my contributions, will I still do it or not? If the answer is no, then we're not working qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. Another question, second question. If people criticize me when I work, will that deter me from continuing to work for the betterment of the community? If people criticize me, they say, khalas, no, you are a bad person. I say, you know what, then go ahead. Inshallah, you burn in hell. I don't care. Go ahead. Khalas. I tried to help you. You didn't want my help. And people come to me later on, can we ask for your help? I say, well, you ignored me in the past. Why do you want my help now? So go get lost. If that's my response, then I was not working qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. How many times our Imam salamullahi alayhi at night, in the middle of the night, they cover their face and they would go offer food to people who did not even know who they were until they died. And in several occasions, more than one Imam. In one case that comes to my mind is Imam Zainul Abidin salamullahi alayhi. He would go knock on the door of his own cousin. He would give him some food at night and some money. At night, he covers his face and he goes every night. And that cousin tells him, may Allah bless you, stranger. You remember me when my cousin Ali ibn al-Hussein has forgotten about me. Allahumma salli ala Did the Imam stop? Did the Imam tell him, you know what, okay, I will not go to him tomorrow, so I won't say anything, but khalas, let him starve. Did the Imam do this? No. Goes back the next day and gives him again. And he would hear the same thing again. But he would go back. Why? Because he's working qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. He knows Allah is watching him. Allah is pleased with him. So who cares if he does not get recognized, if he gets criticized? He's doing qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. Is that the way we work? Wouldn't most of us, if we are not recognized, if we are criticized, would say, khalas, ma'a salama? A third question, which is very difficult in my humble opinion, the most difficult of them. If you know for sure you're going to be doing something, working really hard for the betterment of the community, the society, but someone else will take all the credit, would you do it? Would you do it? The second Khalifa, how many times he came to Imam Ali alayhi salam for help? How many times? It is said more than 72 times. More than 72, with very important questions. Conquering the Romans, conquering the Persians, Very important questions. They came to the Imam for help. Imam developed the strategy for conquering Persia. His strategy was implemented. But read the books of history today. They say, who conquered Persia? Who is the credit given to? Huh? Read the names. I don't need to tell you. Go read the books of history. That man is the one who's responsible for conquering. That man is the one who expanded the Islamic State. Is Imam Ali even mentioned? No. You think Imam Ali did not know that his name will not be mentioned? Yes, he did. He knew that. But why was he doing this then? It is the betterment of the community, the pleasure of Allah, ikhlas. Even when the credit is going to go to someone else, where is the pleasure of Allah? Is Allah going to be happy with this or not? Now I ask you a very honest question. I don't know about you, myself included. I don't really know if someone comes to me and tell me you put in the really hard work, but will give all the credit to someone else. Although your work will be such a great accomplishment to the community, the people will benefit. However, you're not going to get anything out of it. And I realize, yes, he's right. The community will benefit. Although I'm not even going to be recognized. Would I do it? I don't know. I tell him, I'm sorry. Ma'as-salama, go. Wouldn't most of us do this? Then let's not fool ourselves or lie to our Imam and say we are working qurbatan ila Allah ta'ala. But we can try. We can try. Imam is looking for ikhlas. Imam is not looking for people who go backbite, say to you one word and then stab you behind your back. He's not looking for people who slander. We have a misconception. We have a misconception. Who is someone who's religious? How do you identify someone who's religious? Some people say a religious person, as long as he comes to mosque, he's religious. Some people say that as long as he prays and fasts and does the basics, he's religious. If just coming to mosque is the criteria for being religious, the mere coming to mosque is the criteria for being religious, it means that Hajjaj ibn Yusuf was very religious. You know who Hajjaj was? Hajjaj? Never mind Hajjaj. Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan. He built the Umayyad mosque. You go right now in Syria. I don't know how many of you have been to Syria. The Umayyad mosque. It was built by Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan. He built a masjid. A masjid. Not only was he attending the mosque, he built one. But is that a criteria for religiosity? Hajjaj, who killed thousands of people, innocents. Is that a criteria for religiosity? No, it's not. Is praying and fasting alone a criteria for religious? If that were the criteria, it means Umar ibn Sa'ad was religious. You know Umar ibn Sa'ad? On the day of Ashura, what was Umar ibn Sa'ad doing? I know you could cry. I don't blame you. It makes people cry. On the day of Ashura, what was Umar ibn Sa'ad doing? He was praying, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Abu Ja'far al-Mansur went to Hajj. He used to go to Hajj. But then he kills Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam. So is that a criteria for religious? No, it's not. So what defines it then? Amir al-Mu'mineen defines it for us. Quran defines it. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Being religious is about, first of all, amanu, iman in the heart. You have to believe in the heart, your niyyah, your intention. You have to be sincere. That's one. Two, iman alone is enough? No, it's not. You have to put it in practice. So salat, siyam, not drinking, not looking at the haram, not backbiting, not cheating, not lying, not slandering. All this is very important. But in addition to all this, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Always holding on to the truth. The actions that you do. The akhlaq that you have. Our akhlaq. How many times have we, because of a miscommunication or a misunderstanding, stood up and did backbiting, insulted mu'mineen, attacked people? How many times have we done this on the community level? Would that please the Imam? Is that Iman? That's why the Prophet summarizes Iman by saying, or religion, he says, إِنَّمَا الدِّينُ الْمُعَامَلَةِ. Deen is about how you interact with people. Your interaction with the people. Your akhlaq. Salat is very important. Iman in the heart is very important. But sincerity, our manners, our attitudes towards one another. Is that really how we treat each other? Quran says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. Let's be honest. Are we truly brothers and sisters? Is that how we deal with each other? So my dear brothers and my dear sisters, what Imam really wants of us is sincerity, ikhlas, respect. Respect. About 200 years ago, there was a grand marja. His name was Ayatollah As-Sayyid Bahrul Ulum. A very famous marja, 200 years. He died in the year 1212. We are 1435 now, 1212. So over about 200 years ago, give or take. Ayatollah Bahrul Ulum, very big marja. This big marja one day wanted to come to the city of Hilla, a city in Iraq called Hilla. When he wanted to visit the city of Hilla, the businessmen, the wealthy people in Hilla, all came waiting to welcome this great marja, this great alim. They all came and he came in to the city of Hilla. They all welcomed him, greeted him. Then all those businessmen, those big people, those have big houses. Back then they did not have cars, but if it was like today, those all with the big fancy cars. They were all there. They told the Imam, Imam, come to our house. Oh, the Marja, Sayyid, come to our house. Spend the night at my house. Become my guest. This Marja looked at all of them and said, no, sorry, thank you. I am looking for so and so. He is the one whom I would like to stay at his house. You know the expression, people's jaw dropped? You know, that expression happened. You know, people's jaw dropped. This man, you know what he does? He's a butcher. He's a butcher. He has a small house. A very ordinary person. In fact, less than ordinary. Socially speaking, less than ordinary. But he said, I'm staying at his house. Now, this man himself too, he was shocked. This marji', this alimuddin is going to stay at my house? What a great pleasure. He welcomes him. This marji'uddin, marji'ut-taqleed, stays at this man's house. People come to visit him, this marji', they go. This man goes to about doing his work like every day. Butcher. One day, Sayyid Bahrul Ulum sat down with this man. He said, listen, I have been observing your actions for the past few days. I noticed that you pray, alhamdulillah, you seem to be like a mu'min. And you have good akhlaq with the guests that come in to see me. You know, the people who come to the house. Your interaction with them is good. But other than that, I have not seen anything out of the ordinary. Have you done anything out of the ordinary? The Sayyid is asking. The butchers looked at him. He said, Sayyid, wallah, you know, this is my life. Me, I go work, you know, kill some sheep, kill some cows, you know, sell some meat, you know, come back home. Pray fast. This is. The Sayyid said, think hard. Have you done anything out of the ordinary? He thought for a second. He said, you know, Sayyid, there is something I have not told anyone about. He said, what is it? Tell me. He said, many years ago, I married the woman who is now my wife. On the day of the marriage, you know, at night, I discovered something about her past, if you know what I mean. Something about her past on the day of the marriage. I became furious. This is 200 years ago. I became very upset. I started yelling at her. I told her, let's go back. I'll take you back to your family. I don't need you. She started to cry. She held on to me. She started kissing my hands, my feet. Please, please, have mercy on me. If my family, if my tribe finds out, they would kill me. You know, some Arabic tribes, unfortunately. In fact, even non-Arab tribes, you know, sometimes even other tribes, when they have this, it's got nothing to do with Islam altogether. Some even non-Muslim cultures would do this. That's how she cried. You know, she's just giving you a, this is an example of how that cry was, and I'm just adding sound effects. It was all planned. Thank you, brother. You know, a sentence. So she begged me. She said, please, save my life and save the life of my tribe, because there could be bloodshed here. Literally bloodshed. And I will promise you, I'll be a genuine, sincere, loyal wife. He said, when I, you know, calmed down a little bit, I thought to myself, and I said, you know what, she's right. If I take her back to her family, they'll probably kill her. And maybe they'll go after the other man. They'll try to find out, and they'll kill him as well. There'll be bloodshed. Why cause this bloodshed? What for? You know? So I said to her, you know what? Khalas, okay. Just keep this between you and I, and no one will find out. He said, that's what I did. This Sayyid, Bahrul Ulum, looked at him and said, that is why. There it is. That's it. That's what you did. The man used to pray, general prayers. I'm not saying prayers are not good. Please do not misunderstand me. No. Aqimus salat. The first thing that Allah looks at in our actions on the Day of Judgment. But the effect of the salat should be resembled on our actions. Don't be fooled by a man who just prays, because otherwise Hajjaj used to pray. Don't be fooled by a man who says, I can teach Quran, or just knows how to read Quran. Because the Khawarij who fought against Ali ibn Abi Talib used to have a beautiful voice in reciting the Quran. And they used to teach Quran. This should translate onto our actions. Don't follow each and every person who says, whatever I, you know, follow me. Don't be fooled by a people who come up in the name of religion to propagate their own agendas, to deviate. Because it's very sweet to deviate in the name of religion. Very sweet. And it's a very beautiful disguise. Such people cannot fool the ulama. That's why they hate ulama. That's why they fight against the maraja'. That's why they say we should not follow them. Because the maraja' expose such ideologies. The ulama would expose them. That's what we need to be aware. Be alert. At the same time, let us not be individuals who just think religion is ritualistic. We come, do the a'mal. Doing a'mal tonight is great. Whomever stands up the whole night tonight, doing ibadah, Allah will revive his heart on the day that when the hearts will die. Allah will keep his heart alive with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet used to turn his bed and keep it aside, his mattress, on this night. But this night is not just about us reading Dua Kumail and then I go and do ghiba and slander. This night is not just me about doing the salat and then I go and talk about this family and that family and this person and that person. This night is about us praying to Allah to transform and clean our heart. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. A pure heart. A heart that does not have jealousy. A heart that does not have hatred against the mu'mineen. That's what this night is about. Let's not look at the a'mal just as a'mal. And let's get through them as soon as we can. Even if you do one deed, one amal, saying one astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh on this night that comes from the heart is better than reading the salat, doing dua, reading Quran, and then not having any effect whatsoever. Not effect. Our religion is not just a religion of rituals. It's a religion that how these salats and ibadat and acts of worship translate on our actions. This man, he prayed, he fasted, he did the bare minimum. He did not pray Salatul Layl, he did not fast extra days, bare minimum. But look at his akhlaq. He did something that was out of the ordinary, that most of us would not have been able to do. He was sincere, genuine, in saving a life of one person, one person. He saved her life. What does Allah say? Allah says in the Quran, Al-fitnatu ashaddu min al-qatl. Creating fitna is worse than killing someone. Calling people, trying to disrupt the whole community is worse than killing someone. Saving one physical life. This man achieved this status. Later on, Sayyid Bahr al-Ulum was asked by the businessman. He was told, Sayyidina, why did you come to the house of this man? How come? It's been bothering us. You know how some people are, you know. We're too curious. Why did you stay at his house? What's it of your business? Really, I mean, think of it. I want to stay wherever I want to stay. What's it of your business? But some people, you know, they're too jealous. He's so poor. He's not a wealthy person. Socially, he doesn't have any. Why did you go at his house? They couldn't. And you have such people in every community, in every society. Jealousy. They cannot see anyone better than them. And when they see someone, then they try to attack him or her to the best of their ability. They came to the Sayyid. Why did you stay at his place? He said, I will tell you. However, you are not allowed to mention this until after I die. He said, sure. He said, I had no choice. The Imam Salamullahi alayh sent me a message to stay at his house. The Imam told. The Imam is pleased with this man, who you all think that he is unworthy. Yes, he is not rich. Socially, he is not very famous, very well known. But apparently, he is the most muttaqi, the most pious among this entire city of Hilla. And hence the Imam chose him. What does the Imam want of us? He wants sincerity in the actions. He wants Iman in the heart. Actions that go with our Iman. But sincerity and good attitude and character and akhlaq. Tonight is a very holy night. Let us pray to Allah to bless us and our children until the day of judgment to be among the sincere followers of the Imam Salamullahi alayh. In this world, in the qabr, in the akhirah, and to grant us a shafa'ah, inshaAllah. In this world, in the qabr, and in the akhirah. Let's raise our hands for dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا اللهم إنا نسألك وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله 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 يا الله. إلهي بفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها اكشف عنا السوء يا الله. اللهم بسيدنا ومولانا صاحب الزمان عجل لوليك الفرج يا الله. انصر شيعة أمير المؤمنين واحفظهم بحفظك يا الله. اللهم اقض حوائج المؤمنين والمؤمنات، شاف وعاف جميع مرضى المؤمنين والمؤمنات، على الخصوص من أوصونا بالدعاء منهم. اللهم البسهم لباس العافية واقض حوائجهم واغفر ذنوبهم وشاف مرضاهم وارحمهم في الدنيا والآخرة يا كريم. رب اغفر لي ولوالدي وارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. اجزهما بالإحسان إحسانا وبالسيئات غفرانا. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج واجعلنا من شيعته وأنصاره وأعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل وليا وقائدا ودليلا حتى تسكنه أرضك وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أرنا الطلعة الرشيدة والغرة الحميدة واكحل أنظارنا بنظرة منا إليه. اللهم نقسم عليك بالزهراء فاطمة إلا ما رزقتنا شفاعة الزهراء يا الله في الدنيا وفي القبر وفي الآخرة يا الله، لقضاء الحوائج ولشفاء المرضى ولكشف هذه الغمة عن هذه الأمة ولتعجيل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات لا سيما أرواح أموات الجالسين والحاضرين. رحم الله من قرأ السورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.